We are now live. Myra with EXP Realty here with David Young from Cardinal Financial. Hi, David.
Hey Myra, how are you doing? I got to get the point thing down too.
So I hear you've got a very valuable mortgage tip for this week, huh?
Yeah, so we've been talking quite a bit about the markets and COVID and the economy, and now we're dealing with riots and peaceful riots or protests and all this other stuff that's supposed to make everything kind of go crazy. So a lot of people are saying, well, I just wanna wait until this all blows over before I buy a house. And we've been talking about this, but waiting is the most expensive thing that you can do. And this week it is true. So like all those people that were on the fence and just kind of waiting, we've got a number of them. So I'll give you a real life example. I had a gentleman who was doing a 30-year fixed refinance, right? And he wanted to wait. He thinks that the interest rates are going to go down to like 1%. I disagree, but who knows? I'm just a finance guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm just here to help. And so,
one of these?
I know, right? A crystal ball, right? And he was at under 3% on a 30-year fixed, like under 3%, buying a point, but still under 3%. Did you know that same interest rate yesterday was costing him 1 point, now cost him 2 points? And the market's locked down right now. We cannot lock an interest rate at the moment because the interest rates are going back up again. The economy is strong. The economy is very strong. You hear all the naysaying in the media about, oh my gosh, there's millions of people unemployed. We know why those people are unemployed.
Why?
Because it costs them more money to go back to work. So yes. So sure, there's a small portion of people who are, legitimately unemployed, but realistically, if you look at like the food service workers that are unemployed, food service workers make 170% of their normal income while on unemployment. Did you know that?
No.
Janitorial is number 2. They make 140% of their normal income on unemployment because of the unemployment benefits, and that doesn't even count the stimulus checks. So why would those people go back to work? So don't look at unemployment and say, hey, I'm not going to buy a house. There's a lot of unemployment in the U.S. today, because that is an artificial number. The housing market is very strong and the interest rates are going up. So if you're like, I'll just wait, a year to buy a house, well, congratulations, you're going to spend, $100,000 more on that same house because those interest rates could be significantly higher. And people are like, well, it's only a difference of a percent or two in the interest rate. Well, I mean, realistically, that percent or two in the interest rate, if you're buying, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 house, not to mention the $1 million house on the hill, right? Like that is equivalent to, buy one, get one free almost. I mean, it literally is. If you look at the difference between, like, say, a 3% interest rate and a 5% interest rate over time, I mean, that is a huge difference. I mean, amazing amount of difference. And so, the cheapest thing that you could do, I mean, waiting is costly. It just really is. And I know we've talked about that before. Some people have to hear it a few times, but this is the time. I mean, literally, waiting is being very costly. Do you want to spend an extra $100,000 on a home? Probably not, right? Probably not. So I don't know. I'm just a finance guy. Take it for what it's worth. I'm telling you what we're seeing real time in the market right now, and it's hot. Inventories are moving quick. People are buying, and the smart people are getting in before the prices go up, before the interest rates go up. It is what it is right now.
Yeah, the interest rates have gone down. We all know that. Interest rates have gone down.
They went down over COVID, but now they're coming back up.
Right. Do you really think they're going to go back up and then come back down again? No.
Yeah, no.
Don't think so. Once they go back up, they're going to continue to climb or at least stay level for a while.
Look, you got protests in every major city around the U.S. right now. They're organizing protests everywhere, and there's a lot of conspiracy theories and such. I really couldn't care less about the conspiracy theories. I'm just concerned about the markets. If protests and business burning isn't bringing down the economy, then what is, right? I mean, what is going to bring down the economy? So, and when the economy goes up, rates go up, home prices go up, right? So that's the world that we're living in right now, and that's a good spot for those people who are smart enough to get in now and capture that, because they're going to be able to get a home at a good deal. They're going to be able to get a pricing at a good deal. They're going to capture that. They're going to look back 5 years from now and be like, Myra, I am so glad you sold me that house. I mean, literally, they're going to, if they don't send you a birthday present or something, I'm going to call them up and be like, you need to send Myra a birthday present. Because, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you could
the
be
amount of
saving
money you
a
can
good
save people.
bit of money if you purchase at the lower interest rate right now. Like a $200,000 home you purchase now at, what are they?
Yeah, so here's kind of a funny thing. If you really kind of, I'm pulling up my mortgage calculator real fast, right? So you take, let's say you're buying a $300,000 house, right?
Mm-hmm.
A $300,000 house. Let me delete one, enter. Or $300,000 loan amount. Let's make it easy. And we'll just do an easy 3% interest rate, just so you guys can do it on a 30-year fix. That payment is $1,264 a month. So $1,264, right? And now when the economy was better, we were seeing interest rates a little bit closer to that 5% mark, right? So let me clear that out, and we'll say 5% on that same thing. And those of you with a mortgage calculator, please, just follow along. So that same home is now 1610, right? 1610 is your principal and interest payment for a $300,000 deal. Still better than renting, right? So let's take that 1610, right, minus 1264. So that's $346 a month, right? And people are like, well, $300 a month really isn't that much. And you know what? I'm hearing that all the time with refinances. Hey, we're going to save you $300 a month. Now, wait a minute. If my boss called me and said, hey, Dave, I'm going to give you an extra $300 a month, I wouldn't be like, nah, I'll think about it, right? Like, I'd like to think I'm a reasonably intelligent guy that'd be like, heck yeah, dude, like, hook me up. I'm not going to ask any questions. But that same amount is $4,152 per year. And over the life of that loan, by buying in while the interest rates are still low, look at, where's the camera at? Look at how much you save.
Wow.
$124,000 by having a lower interest rate. You literally could call Myra and buy two houses. One is your primary residence, the nice house, right? $125,000 will buy you a decent investment property, won't it, Myra?
Yes, it would.
And that'd be a great retirement income, right? So, I mean, literally, it's like buy one, get one free right now. And those people who are understanding that literally should stop watching this video and call Myra right now. Her number, where's the camera? Right there. Is right down there, because we're not trying to say, hey, stop what you're doing. This is a big sales pitch or anything. This is a financially savvy people are doing right now. That's why the inventories are so low. The inventories aren't low because of COVID. I mean, that's past, right? Been there, done that. Inventories are low because people are like, oh crap, the market's going up, the interest rates are going up. I want to get in my dream home now. Let's make this happen fast, because waiting will cost you, on this scenario, $124,000, right?
Wow.
Now, if you're a high-end client, you're buying $1 million home, yes, of course, you're going to be saving a lot more, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, or even a $200,000 home, I mean, you're still saving enough to get an investment property. So.
That's pretty good. That's great news.
Isn't that crazy?
something we all need to be thinking about when we get out there and say we're going to wait a while, see what the interest rates do. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like saying, well, Bill Gates started up this Microsoft company. Who wants to invest into something like that, right? At the beginning stages. Like that's going to go anywhere, right?
What? Ouch.
We'll wait, and we'll buy it when it's super expensive before Bill leaves and the price starts going down, right? So I mean, literally, that's kind of the smart people always like see opportunities and they jump on it quickly. And then the people who don't watch videos like this, the people who are uneducated, who instead of educating themselves right now, they're binging reruns of Netflix for the 17th time, right?
Uh-huh.
Nothing against binging Netflix. We all like to do it, right? But I mean, you're watching the same shows over and over and over and over again, right? Because you're bored, you're a food service worker, and you're like, oh man, I'm making more money right now. Maybe I should buy a house, right? Pay off your debts. Stop buying random stuff. Pay your debts off. Be smart. And that's why we do these videos. Help people become smarter, right? We're not born smart, right? Very, statistically, if you ever read the book Outliers, people who are really smart people just weren't they happen to be born geniuses. Like it's because they educated themselves constantly rather than doing whatever else you can do with your life. They spent a lot of time investing in themselves and investing in their education. And now they're considered like the smart people. They're just really well educated people. They didn't have to go to college to be educated. They watch videos like this and learn from cool people like Myra. I mean, literally.
YouTube, Facebook.
I know, right? Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, we can still ask Alexa.
Yeah, exactly.
That has all the answers.
Watch the real stuff with you. It's sad that we have to get on here and talk what's really happening in the economy rather than have some type of weird political agenda that I can't even figure out anymore.
No.
That I don't know if they're trying to build the economy or crash the economy or scare Americans or make them confident. I don't know. I'm like watching the news and I'm all confused because I'm watching the markets and I'm like, none of that's happening right now.
Oh.
Mr. Newscaster, where's that information even coming from? It's like all the news stations. I'm not picking on one. Or any. I mean, it's all just kind of like you know what? I'm gonna retract my previous statement and say stop binging. Reruns on Netflix 17 times. It's better to watch that than it is to watch the crazy news, right?
No fake news. We don't want to hear fake news. We want real stuff.
It's more educational to watch Magnum PI for the 17th time than it is to watch any of this fake news that's going on right now. Because those of us who are caught in this market chaos are like, what are they talking about? Like, literally, what are they? What agenda they're trying to spin today? It's crazy. Yeah. So anyhow, that's my rant on that for this morning. As you can tell, I'm not a big fan of any news station, especially now.
No, I've turned the TV off. I don't listen to it. I do a lot of research on the internet, and I've been doing a lot of training. In the world training, real estate training. They're offering it to you. I'm getting out there and improving my knowledge and my experience, and I'm all booked out now.
I'm still doing book studies with my team and talking about one of my favorite books. We're going to get back to do it next month. Is Richest Man in Babylon.
Oh yeah,
love that book. Fast, easy read. I grew up with old English stuff, like the Old Testament stuff. When I was a kid, I was like, eh. But now that I'm older, I kind of like that old English style writing now. I don't know if it's nostalgic for me, but that's how that book is written. And so I like it a lot. Babylon was thought to be a myth, just a crazy Bible story for centuries, right? Yeah. Until the archaeologists found it. So that's the cool thing that I love about science, right? Just and they're like, hey, this is Babylon. We read this somewhere in a book somewhere, right? And they found some clay tablets, and the stories might have been they kind of fill in the gaps with some of the stories, but you get the basic gist. I mean, the principles of money and finance haven't changed in the last 6,000 years, and that's what we're trying to teach people today. And it's funny how people today struggle with the same financial concepts that people 100 years ago or 500 years ago or 5,000 years ago struggled with. And of course, back then money could have been like two goats, but it's still like the same concept, right? So
And the
that's my
turtle.
book,
Don't forget the
that's my
turtle.
that's my book recommendation for today. You know, it's not a religious book. It's got some like weird stuff in it, like about Baal and such that they had back in 6,000 years ago. But participate in some of our book studies. Call Myra; she will help you out. I mean, you need somebody who can educate you, and that's what Myra's doing. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
But thank you so much, David, for all that valuable information. Everybody, make sure you give David at Cardinal Financial a call. You need a loan?
and
He'll give you
Myra,
one.
call Myra. We're gonna do the point thing.
All right. I got to get out there to a listing appointment. Be safe.
All right.
Wear masks still.
Let's see you next week.
Okay. Have a good one.
You too.